Are you serious? Are you serious? Well, the weather in Sydney, Australia is definitely out of control. Thunderstorms moved across the entire nation. Thousands of people without power, especially in the New South Wales, the East Coast area. Thousands in the Sydney, Australia. The emergency crews worked throughout the night to try to restore power. 11,000 customers in Western Sydney, Australia, and the other parts of the Central Coast and Upper Hunter all were disconnected from their power. A severe, and I mean severe, an apocalyptic thunderstorm warnings causing damaging winds went on. Large hailstones, huge, and still, folks, it's just chaos. I've seen the clouds that rolled in. It was insane. The State Emergency Services spokesman, Phil Campbell, says the state seems to have been spared major damage from the storm in his area. We've been quite fortunate in the Sydney metropolitan area with only about 70 calls for assistance. But in the other part of the nation and parts of Sydney, dark storms rolled into Sydney from the south last night around 7 p.m. local time. One Bondi resident describing the looming storm front as, quote, apocalyptic. What? The storm came as a particularly bad time, with commuters still stranded on the platforms in the city due to a shortage of train staff. Everybody just didn't come to work. So you had thousands of people in downtown Sydney waiting to get on a train. There was nobody. 65 train engineers did not come to work, called off sick, plus a lot of other train staff. Lightning, thunder, then heavy rains affected parts of the city. The storm was insane. Roads and businesses were flooded. People were stuck. The train systems weren't running because nobody was there to drive the trains. And thousands of people were stranded getting off work last night. And then the storm, an apocalyptic storm, come roaring in with strong winds, heavy rains and flooding, and huge hail. This was one of the biggest storms in years. And what a time to hit, with everybody staying home and nobody would drive the trains to get the people out of downtown Sydney. What is going on down under? What? Down under? Oh, you think that's bad? There was thousands of bats that were falling out of the sky down under yesterday due to a heat wave when the temperatures reached 40 degrees Celsius. Has the apocalypse come to Australia? Are you seriously serious? Let me just look at this report from yesterday, because on the bats, and I reported on it last night, but it was crazy. Thousands of bats in Australia fell out of the sky yesterday due to a heat wave, and then a storm came, and then everybody called off sick and left the people stranded in the middle of downtown in the train station in a hailstorm and wind and rain and power outages and thousands of dead bats. Has the apocalypse come to Australia?